my buddy Chris, motherfucker, that was actually where Chris was coming back from on 9/11 when they had to revert his fucking plane. And I told his girlfriend that he died in 9/11 and so I could kiss her.
What? All right, welcome back, Airheads. Once again, another stirring rendition of Puttin on Airs. We're here in the virtual Airstream studios. Last time I started out by telling you how I was punching some bagel dough or whatever. And the bagels still ended up hitting.
I've got a similar thing.
Much more successful kitchen attempt just now. Not that wild, but something I'd never done before. I just
Wellington?
like less than a minute. No, I said it's not that wild.
I know.
Less than an hour ago, I made my own mayonnaise. You ever made mayonnaise?
Yes, I have. It's been a long time. It was like a while back, but it's essentially just eggs and oil, like as the base.
Yes,
if
correct.
I can, and maybe and a little bit of vinegar or lemon juice,
apple cider vinegar.
I think apple cider vinegar is what I use. My mom got on a streak there for a minute where she was like, you know how my mom be. My mom is the epitome of this show. She is the most Puttin on Airs person I've ever seen. She grew up dirt fucking poor, and then the second she weren't, she was like, I reject that I ever was. Mm-hmm. I reject all of it. And she was like, she started making her own mayonnaise, and like, don't get me wrong, it hits. I will say that like store-bought mayonnaise, they crush. You know what I mean? But it is nice.
I was woohoo! Like I had let out a
Mario giggle
exclamation of delight whenever it came together, because I was like, is this going to work? Please let this work, whatever. And it was wild because I did it using an immersion blender.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, me too.
You can do it in a food
Cuisinart when it's great.
You do it in let the food processor run and slowly pour the oil into it until it emulsifies. No. But you just stick a stick blender down into the bottom of the thing. You turn it on, and it fucking less than 30 seconds. Dude, you got a goddamn jar of mayonnaise, and
it's quicker than doing whipped cream.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, "What the fuck?" But so I was amazed, and I did it because I was out of mayonnaise and I wanted mayonnaise.
Right,
and it definitely is mayonnaise, and it did not hit. But
then preservatives hit.
It ain't nowhere near as good as like Duke's or whatever.
Right,
I'm thrilled, but I probably won't do it again because even though it wasn't hard at all, it just wasn't better. Duke's, they got it down.
It's one of those things where like, oftentimes they're like, would you rather have a biscuit from the fast food place or one of your granny's biscuits? It's like my granny's biscuit, hands down. You know what I mean? There's so many places, so many times in which like you want homemade. Granted, given that the person doing it hits at making it, because homemade itself doesn't really mean shit to me if the home that it's coming from is a place where someone don't hit. Right. You know what I mean? Like, because I've had like, I remember a lot of times like we'd be on the road and we'd have a random fan that and by the way, we love all our fans, we do, but let me get to this point. We'd have a random fan who we didn't know reach out. That's the important part. We don't know this person. And they'd be like, hey, saw that y'all are going to be in town. Just thought that maybe y'all would like a home cooked meal instead of going to a restaurant. And I would just thanks anyways, whatever. But I always wanted to say like, if it ain't my home or the home of someone I know, a restaurant's the same thing. It's just a person making me shit that I don't know. But in that situation, I don't have to be fucking nice. You know what I mean? But with the mayonnaise, my point being is that I think it's one of those where it's like, okay, it's not that it's like Duke's and them is better, but in this situation, you're doing it to not get the preservatives. You know what I mean?
Okay. I was just doing it because Katie ate all the goddamn Dukes, and I didn't know that until I went looking for it. And we were out of mayonnaise, and I was like, fuck, I really need some mayonnaise right now. I ain't got time to run to the store. And I was like, I could just try to make some, but I didn't know how it was going to turn out, and it turned out great. But
yeah, it does. I've been on vegan mayonnaise for 2 months, so I can't really say shit right now.
It's either here nor there. I don't think we've ever talked about Sacha Baron Cohen on here, have we?
No, we haven't, but I think that he's the show.
Fits the show in a lot of ways. There's a specific thing related to him that I want to talk about, but also just in general, like where are you at on SBC?
Well, I think we need to preface this because I think he got in a little trouble recently. I think that there were. I think there were some allegations. Like I think there were some allegations of sexual harassment. I don't know if sexual harassment does not hit, but when I say allegations, there's a lot of things I could say after that are worse than sexual harassment. You know, like rape and all that shit. I think there were some allegations of sexual harassment on set. So I would just like to, before anybody says anything, I'm aware of that. I'm purely going to speak on him as a creative.
I didn't even know that had happened.
Well, by the way, I could be. Please look that up because I don't want to have accidentally done that. But I'm pretty sure that something just came out on that. And I remember because when it happened, I was like, "Oh, he is too big for that to stick." You know what I mean? And I don't mean that in a funny way.
I googled SBC because I thought that might work, but
that's a bank.
No, it's the Southern Baptist Convention.
And it's worse than a bank.
SBC allegations, and the first thing that popped up was investigation revealed that for nearly 2 decades, survivors of abuse concerning Southern Baptists had contacted the administrative arm to report child molesters and other abusers who were in the pulpit or employed as church staff members. And that's from June of this year. So,
I hadn't heard shit about that. You know, that's crazy because like
Southern Baptist.
I'm a Southern Baptist, and I've been to several Southern Baptist church, and this is obviously anecdotal, but like the Catholic shit blew my mind when it all came out because everybody was talking about how it was like a religious thing, and I was always like bucking back on that a little bit, just like, nah, that's purely like a Catholic thing because I grew up very religious, and I got a lot of friends that are religious, and I ain't never heard of none of that shit in the Baptist church. You know what I mean? But like per you, I believe it. Anyways. How I feel about Sacha Baron Cohen as a creative, I think that he's about as close as one as our generation has ever gotten. Whether you like him or not, the things that the level to which he has made characters hit is crazy. Like everything he does, like, okay, right. I love Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell is great. Will Ferrell, for a long time, just played Will Ferrell turned up to different degrees in movies. Sacha Baron Cohen plays a different human being and tricks people as that human being. Borat, I don't give a fuck what anybody says, is one of the funniest goddamn movies that has ever existed, period. Go watch it now. You will, even the stuff that people go, I don't know if you could do that now. You'll laugh at it, and then you'll just feel bad later because it's funny as fuck. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, that's actually why I brought it up, because I read this thing about Borat, and it's not really surprising, but like, and I may have even heard it at the time, but forgot. But like, so first of all, yes, Borat and Borat 2 subsequent movie film. So funny. I mean, the first one is obviously better, but the second one, most comedy sequels fucking suck. And right. Borat 2 was
wasn't
really
bad.
Goddamn funny. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But before Borat 2 came out during the pandemic, I rewatched the first Borat, and I was like, God damn, this movie is it's unreal. Right?
It's unreal, man.
And then earlier this week, I don't even remember the context in which it came up, but I found out about how, so do you know in the opening to Borat, he's like,
when he's in his village,
I meant welcome to my village, Kazakhstan.
I have clock radio. He can't afford clock radio. Great success.
Yeah, right. This is Busky, the town rapist. Naughty. Right?
Naughty Busky.
Yeah. He's like, this is our kindergarten. It's a bunch of kids holding guns, and he's like, he French kisses that one girl, and she's like, she's my sister. You know,
it's like, very Southern. Yeah.
So that. All right. First of all, of course, and I guess this was part of the joke, I guess, but still, though, like Kazakhstan ain't like nothing like that at all.
I didn't even think it was real.
Even the people, I knew it was real country, but I was
when
also
it came out, I didn't know it was real.
I was in college. I knew it was real country, and I bought that. I was like, yeah, this is probably what that's like. He probably what that's like. It's some over there a stan, you know,
right.
Like it don't hit, sense. You know what I mean? Yeah, right. Like,
that's
what I was thinking. And it don't hit.
You're right. Most stands don't hit.
No, but including the one run by our boy Gurbanguly Berdy Muhammadov. He runs the stand of the Turkmen variety, I believe. But
Turkmenistan,
Kazakhs, they're like kind of, I don't know how this sounds. They're
close to hitting.
They look almost Asian-y is what I'm saying.
Oh, really?
Yes, that's what
really?
I mean.
Like,
They're
not
not like whole family, one potato. They don't look like, they're not those types of people.
They're not those types of Asians.
They look more like Mongolians or something.
Right.
Like it's just not even close, right? So
I'm glad you said that, because we're talking about Genghis Khan next week, not this week, but I've been doing my research on Mongolia and stuff. And so now I have a reference point on, because like before, if you asked me what does a Mongolian person look like, I would have just thought of a drawing of Genghis Khan, which is kind of that one right there. Okay.
Well, they don't. I mean, Mongolians don't not look like Genghis Khan.
Right. No. Most of them are his kids.
All of Asia. Yeah, I was about to say, like, they are mostly descended from that motherfucker. Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
so.
They are.
But yeah, these are Kazakhs right here, and you see what I mean? They're like. Yeah. They look more Asian-y than they look like Slavi or anything. Yeah,
couldn't agree more.
So, like, like
creative
Kazakhstan,
license out the ass,
right? Nothing like that. But also, that village he filmed that in was a village in Romania called Glod, right?
Glaad,
Glod, which literally translates to mud. It's a town called Mud in Romania, right? So with that in mind, none of those people, none of those extras, all those villagers, the extras,
no idea what was going on.
Not a single one of them spoke English. Nobody.
Right.
They had nobody, so like there's just a dude riding his little donkey cart, and Sasha walks by, or Borat is like, tell him rapist. Nothing. He has no idea.
Fuck out of here.
He has no idea that he just called him a rapist or whatever. There's a mechanic like working on an engine or something like that, and he's like, there's, Borsky is tell mechanic an abortionist, right?
Right.
And that guy's just like, yeah, right. He like puts his hat up, like waves and stuff. Yeah, like they had no idea. And the production paid them. They were there for 3 days, and they paid them €3 each. And I don't know if that's euros per day or if it's €3 for 3 days. But I mean, that's like $1.
That's slave wages. Yeah,
right. That's what they paid those people, and didn't tell them anything, right?
That's
about
not
what
right.
They were doing. See, and that's not right. That's why I ask about Sacha Baron Cohen. But let's finish this part of it first. But have a larger discussion about his whole deal. It's like. Then then they leave, and then the movie comes out, and somehow word gets. But they saw a subtitle. They saw a version of the movie subtitled in Romanian, right?
Okay.
And they're like, "The fuck is this?" Like they were very upset.
He is a rapist, not me.
Yeah, right.
We have 2 potatoes.
Yeah, but they got very upset about it naturally, but then he's like sort of sharky lawyer type showed up and was like, you could sue, right? You could sue the studio and Sacha Baron Cohen and everything, and they sued him for $30 million. Now, apparently, not surprising either, pretty much every single fucking person who's in Borat sued Sacha Baron Cohen after Borat came out.
Yeah.
Including
and some of them I don't feel bad for. Well, I feel bad for these people.
That's part of what I wanted to say. Like, including this entire Romanian village sued him, and it's like a lot of those people. It's like, well, look, dude, he didn't make you say,
this,
fucking
right,
yeah, whatever, all the super racist shit or whatever. Like, you still opted to say that, like, so,
right. And honestly, they would have signed some type of waiver,
right?
I'm certain of it.
So. But those people, those Romanian villagers, though,
they don't speak English. Yeah.
I'm like, I mean, that ain't it.
No,
like
that's not it.
Cool. And I feel like he does. That's kind of the line he toes. Do you know what I mean? Like, he is obviously a genius in a lot of ways,
which often means a bad person.
But he's like that ain't cool, and he's done a lot of like. That ain't cool type of stuff. And out here in LA, I don't know if it became a national story or if you saw it on the internet or not, because it was a thing in LA when it happened. When he was filming Borat 2, this never made it in the movie. Maybe it wasn't. No, it wasn't Borat 2. You remember that TV show he did? He did one season of a TV show.
America.
Yeah, or he got.
It was right during the election, right?
he got that like Southern state representative to say he wanted to arm kindergartners or something like that, like a bunch of wild shit. While he was filming that, he went into a gun store in Los Angeles in costume as some other random character, like a biker character.
Right.
And it was on the news and was a big story out here at the time because the owner of the gun store, who's a Latino dude, recognized him like immediately. Like he came in disguise and just really let him have it. You know what I mean? He's like, nah, we ain't. Fuck off, dude. I know you already know what you're trying to do. We don't fuck you trying to come in here and make us look bad. And they got it all on security camera, and it made that hit for me when I saw that.
Yeah, respect. Respect,
I saw that and I was like, good for this guy. You know?
I might not agree with him, but like still good for him for being like, it ain't me, babe. You know what I mean?
So, SBC, he's complicated. By the way, before you respond to all of that, I Googled Sacha Baron Cohen allegations, and what I found is that Rebel Wilson, Rebel Wilson.
Yeah.
Australian.
Funny blonde-headed girl.
Yes. Also,
Yeah.
Funny plus-size blonde-headed girl.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to be cool, but yeah, go ahead. He said that, not me.
I said plus-size. She's a plus-size model. Actually, she likes small now, ain't she?
Yeah, I think so. Oh, Ozempic.
Yeah, right.
Which, that's fine.
Into her career, am I right?
Yeah, right, dude. Yeah, I'm about to say,
oftentimes, when you make it
in
fat,
comedy,
in comedy specifically, you make it fat and then you get unfat. That's it for you. Chris Pratt is like the shining counterexample, and I always say with him, like he started out
Jonah Hill too.
He started out ripped. Chris Pratt did.
Yeah, he did.
And he was working.
He was
already,
fat for Parks and Rec.
He got fat just to be funny in Parks and Rec. So it's not really the same thing, but.
Also, if you're not going to say it, I will. She's a woman, and they're not allowed as much grace. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but no, I think about that shit all the time because, like, as you know, I'm always expecting to pop. Like, I'm going to get this role, I'm going to get that, and I always think like, whatever shape, if I do get some really good role and sort of like pop, whatever the weight I'm at when I get that, you kind of got to stick with that. You know what I mean? For a minute, as a comedian, like not as a regular actor, but like as a comedian, it's like, how many jokes were there about how like Jonah Hill's not funny anymore because he's not fat and it's bullshit, but like it is true. Like it's a perception.
Yeah. But he kind of like willfully transitioned into not being funny on purpose.
Right.
He's like a serious actor now. So,
yeah, but he was fat in Wolf of Wall Street.
Right, but
he was skinny
in the kind of comedic character because that movie is funny,
Right, but I'm saying when he did 22 Jump Street, he was skinny. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I
bet you Rebel Wilson also would fit this show really good because she's from over there, but she got that like Adele. Ain't she from over there? Yeah,
she's from down there. She's from down there.
Oh, she's from down there. Oh, well then she definitely,
she's from down under. Yeah, she's Australian.
Yeah, go ahead with what you were saying. I'm sorry.
All I can find about allegations against him is that she wrote a memoir. She wrote a book, and she wrote a chapter in the book called Sacha Baron Cohen and Other Assholes, where she talks about, unsavory experiences she's had in Hollywood. And she particularly talks about SBC. And she says that like he was inappropriate and embarrassed and humiliated her on the set of a movie just by being a dickhead, basically. But I don't think that.
Well, that's obviously not cool, but I apologize.
Asked her to commit a lewd act while making the 2016 comedy The Brothers Grimsby.
I wasn't all the way wrong, I don't think. Anyways, I just seen something like that recently, and I just I wanted to save us from a pickle. You know what I mean?
Right.
But dude, it's funny because you're right. Sacha Baron Cohen's whole thing is tricking people, and so this is a thing of what I enjoy watching versus what I enjoy doing is completely different because I actually am not into people want me and you to do that type of thing all the time. Like they're like, y'all need to go to this thing and act like you're this and then show them that you're this. And I've always been like, that don't hit for me. And so when I do the gerrymander videos, for instance, it was tricking people, but only because people are dumb. I wrote I know it's I do this character and everybody's like, well, that's just how crazy the political landsphere is. Like, you can't tell what's comedy anymore. And I'm like, yes, you can, though. If you watch my video, they are clearly written fucking jokes. But it was tricking people. And a lot of people thought like that hit for me. And like, that's what I was trying to do. And that's literally why at the end of every gerrymander video, I now insert a fart. Because I was like, I want it to be, I want to have done everything I can to protect the integrity of the bit, but also not intentionally try to trick people, because I always want you to know I'm trying to be funny. I don't want to fucking like Trojan horse my bullshit in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
I don't
absolutely.
like tricking people. I don't like tricking people.
No, I feel the exact same way. Just a couple other things about it. So these lawyers start showing up like, you can get $30 million, whatever. The people that run the town elders, you know, or whatever, they all started trying to make plans for like making the town hit, you know, like when they got this money, like they were going to use the money to improve the town.
Oh, so they did get it?
No.
Oh, okay.
They got it in their head that these lawyers told them, hey, this is in the bag. You're going to have all this money. And they made all these plans and got all excited. And then
don't put all of snake in one basket.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. And then they lost, and you know, and so like that town,
of course they
still don't hit to this day, I reckon. Right. And they like, and I saw like I've seen people have checked in with them since, and like the mechanic who was called the town abortionist or whatever. I saw a quote from him where he was like, you know, if I ever see Sacha Baron Cohen again, I kill him with hammer. That's what he said.
That's hilarious.
So they like
just like I would a baby.
Yeah, right. Yeah. They don't. So he don't. But he don't hit for them over there.
That's not. And you know what, man? Let me retract on something where we were like, well, they tricked a lot of people over here too, and I was like, yeah, well, that's cool. I saw a meme. It was a meme that Elon posted, which means I hated it. But at the same time, I go, actually, that one is true. And I kind of agree. I don't like, here's what it said. It was like, it was one of those charts where it's like, if you answer yes, you go here. If you answer no, you go here. And it was basically a person does a thing. And the next one says, do we like them? Do we not like them? And that would point to, if we like them, that's fine. If we don't like them, that son of a bitch. You know what I mean? And I feel like I was doing a little bit of that where I'm like, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with them tricking somebody that don't hit for me politically. Right. You know what I mean? But as you said, he didn't trick them into saying those horrible things. You know what I mean? Right. So it is a little bit, like with those people, he tricked them into thinking he was someone else, but he didn't really take advantage of them because they spoke English. You know what I mean? These people didn't speak English and were completely 100% fooled. Those fucking people are idiots for not realizing that Sacha Baron Cohen was some sort of comedic character because he was speaking English and doing jokes. You know what I mean? Fuck those people. But it is a little bit of that, like, well, the Kazakhstan people, they're minorities, therefore they hit for me. And these people, well, they don't.
Sure. Right. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. But I mean, no, you're right about the one of one thing. I mean, he's like objectively
Ali G's great.
A genius. Yeah, right. He's been doing it for a long time, and he wild.
He made dude, one of the greatest comedies of all time. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. This isn't really the limb I'm making it out to be. It's Talladega Nights. Talladega Nights is so goddamn funny. And Sacha Baron Cohen hits real goddamn hard in that movie. When he's not doing the thing that he's known for, I think he's tremendous. There was a rumor for a while that he was going to be the one to play Freddie Mercury in the Bohemian Rhapsody. And I was stoked for that because I was like, he can definitely pull it off.
I don't think it was a rumor. I think that was he was attached to the Freddie Mercury biopic. What I always heard was the reason he walked away from it was because the band members, they're still alive.
They didn't like it. Yeah.
They had a lot of control. Well, what they didn't like was they wanted it to be PG-13 and they wanted to focus more on the band, right? Like the band instead of just Freddie Mercury specifically. And Sacha Baron Cohen was like, well, that's dumb as fuck.
That's like, not the movie I want to do.
And I don't blame him at all for that. I agree with him. And then Bohemian Rhapsody finally came out, and
that was the main critique.
I enjoyed that movie ultimately, but I thought there were some weird aspects of it for like they kind of turned Freddie Mercury into the villain of his own goddamn movie, sort of. Right. And it kind of, what's the word? It played it was a little light and loose on all the depravity and that.
They needed to all be dead before they did that movie,
right? And you know, the band they were all great dudes and all this stuff. So it was like you could just tell that the band, Brian May and the rest of the band members of Queen, had a lot to do with it, and that it had an impact on the movie. And I don't blame Sacha Baron Cohen.
The movie made it seem like
Rami Malek. I'm sure it still hits for him that it ended up going that way because it was still a big movie. And
the movie made it seem like
Oscar for that. Rami Malek?
I don't remember if he won the Oscar for that or not. Look it up. But what I wanted to say was the movie made it seem like, oh wow, he got AIDS out of nowhere, and it's like, no, show us how he got AIDS. And I don't mean that in a shitty way, but it's like, dude, this motherfucker was wilding out. He was a rock star, because they wanted to make it PG-13. It was all it was the central story of that was like he was in love with this woman, but he was gay, so he couldn't be with her. You know, and like it's like, dude, that ain't. We want to know the fucking dirt. And as you said, because they had all the control of it, they just let all Freddie's dirt be out there and none of theirs.
Mm-hmm. Right. Rami Malek won the Academy Award, the Golden Globe, the BAFTA, and the Screen Actors Guild Award.
He did great
for lead actor in that movie in 2019. So yeah.
I mean, all our problems with the movie are about the script. Has nothing to do with the performance. He was unbelievable. He was great. I actually saw a clip earlier of. Did you know that? I'm not about to say that Rami Malek is the one that did it, but like I thought that they just had him lip syncing over Freddie Mercury, but they had a separate dude who, by the way, looks just like Rami Malek. They had a separate dude just come back and do Freddie Mercury's vocals so that they could match it up better. And this guy, I've heard people do impression. Like I've seen Michael Winslow do not only Led Zeppelin, but also Jimmy Page's guitar at the same time. But like Freddie Mercury's voice is one of those where it's like, that's kind of just, some people can hit those notes, but not that way. This guy, I've never heard anybody sound exactly like one of the best singers in the world. And it was that guy. And I
don't understand why, if they were gonna, if Rami, and you can't expect any actor really to match what Freddie Mercury did. So if they know that Rami Malek is not going to be singing, if they know that, why can't they just match his mouth to like Freddie's existing? Why do they even need to replace the vocals at all if they're not?
I think it was because they wanted different, like they wanted live takes that were a little bit different, and maybe for these. And by the way, I do think that Rami, like he gave it a go. Like he gave it a go doing it, and I think they interspersed some of that. But I think it was just like maybe they wanted the tempo. Like, hey, we want the tempo to be down on this one, and we don't have a recording of Freddie doing it that way. So we want this guy to match Rami's style more or something. I have no idea. Or if it was like a licensing thing, I don't fucking know. But my point is that dude should have won something. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
So I cut you off when you brought up Bohemian Rhapsody. You brought up Queen, Freddie Mercury. What were you going to say about Sacha Baron Cohen? Do you remember? Or has that been too long ago?
It's probably too long ago. He
was going to play Freddie Mercury, and then
My point was just that you were talking about him being one of one, and I was like expressing more on that, which was like the thing that he's inarguably the best at, which is playing these original characters, is still not the only thing he's good at. You know what I mean? Like he also has range. He can also act in somebody else's movie. He can definitely get serious. Like I just think that guy is insanely talented. And a lot of times that means you're a lunatic. And in comedy specifically, me and you've talked about this all the time. We see like, okay, for instance, now we'll add like what Sacha Baron Cohen did to the village of Romania, right? Me and you both know there is no fucking way we would ever do that or could do that. I don't possess whatever it takes to shut down my brain and go anything for the art. You know what I mean? I don't have that. And I go, the reason that there's people like Sacha Baron Cohen is because you have to have the talent, and it has to also come in the form of a person that has their Doc Ock chip is fucking shattered. You know what I mean? Like they're just like, I don't give a fuck. Because I give so much of a fuck about shit like that.
Me too. I do too. Yeah. It's like mad scientists, but for art, Yeah.
Like I don't even like man on the street shit because I feel like I'm still like relying on this other person for the comedy more than me. I
mean, that's objectively true when you think about it. Any man, and I've loved some man. I've seen so many man on the street.
Even jaywalking.
So funny that I love, but it's like, it's the other person that's hit. Like, you know, like, I don't remember what happened to the guy, because I think there was some legal dispute between him but you know that all gas, no brakes guy? He was big on the internet for a minute there, but then he got into a legal dispute with the producers or the funders of that, and they split up, and he couldn't do all gas, no brakes anymore. And I think he went on and started something else, but I haven't seen him since. So he may have just had his 15 minutes and went away. But he was he was like this internet documentary. He did man on the street shit, but long form. Like, he had a video. I know I sent y'all his video where he went to Talladega, right? He talks to all these, like,
I believe you,
country boy, whatever. And then he goes to the porn awards in Vegas, and he went. And
I know that guy. I know that guy. He was kind of a weird, like, his whole deal was he was kind of weird, and
that's what I'm saying. He barely even talks. Like, these videos,
he had curly hair. He did get in trouble. He had an HBO show, and he got in trouble.
Wait, he got in trouble?
That guy? I'm pretty sure that I'm not going to say what I think he did. Like, I've done this before, but, like, like, he's curly headed, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did something. We'll say that. I'm pretty sure he did something. You look it up. But yes, that is what I'm talking about. Like, and it might be an ego thing. It might be that those people are right, and they're like, hey, no, my ego is in such a good place that I don't mind the other person outshining me for this moment. But my thing is, like, when I make something, I'm like, I want you to know that it's me that's making it hit, not this dumb person. You know what I mean? So that it might have just been a legal trouble with his man on the street thing. With
he got into a legal dispute with all gas, no brakes, and he left that, and he went out on his own, started his own channel, Channel 5, which has more than 2 million YouTube subscribers. And yes, he made a HBO documentary. So, I mean, he still kept hitting. But in 2023, he was accused of sexual misconduct.
There you go. Yeah. There you go.
Everybody. But it's also like these dudes both, they kind of have something in common. You know what I mean?
I know. Like it makes so much sense that
it's kind of related to what you're saying. You know, like it sort of makes like
they don't have a filter,
right? Or any kind of like they
moral
have no
compass
qualms about about
and look, man,
exploiting people basically.
And look, I apologize because I said I thought it was a sexual harassment thing, and maybe it wasn't with Sacha Baron Cohen. I genuinely apologize for that. That was wrong with me. And I like Sacha Baron Cohen. I respect his work. I don't want him to think I don't want him to think I'm saying that he's a lunatic. I'm just saying that, like you said, to do that style, I genuinely do think that there has to be some sort of sociopathic, at least tingle in you. Maybe not full sociopath, but a bit of it. Because I can't, bro. I'm dude, and look at me. Like, you know how many dumb fucking wild things I've done for a laugh? So many. But I don't want to trick a person. I don't. Even if I fucking hate that person, I don't want to trick them. You know what I mean?
No, I'm with you. But there was another thing I wanted to talk to you about because it's definitely
You want to do it after this break?
Yeah, we can do it right after this. Y'all, let's talk about our sponsor, Lumen. Lumen is the world's first handheld metabolic coach. That's right. It's a device that measures your metabolism through your breath. It's like a breathalyzer, but for hitting and working out and stuff. And on the app, it lets you know if you're burning fat or carbs and gives you tailored guidance to improve your nutrition, workouts, sleep, and even stress management. It's very simple. All you got to do is breathe into your Lumen first thing in the morning, and you'll know what's going on with your metabolism, whether you're burning fats or carbs. Then Lumen will give you a personalized nutrition plan for that day based on your measurements. You can also breathe into it before or after workouts and meals, so you know exactly what's going on in your body in real time, and Lumen will give you tips to keep you on the top of your health game. Joe?
Yeah, it's really cool. It's first off, I like holding things and breathing into them, so that part hit for me. But it's also like some Tony Stark stuff, man. Like I've got this app here, and I've been using it because I go on walks all the time, and sometimes like it depends on how much I have going on that day, what time I'll be going on that walk. And I've noticed like if I breathe into this in the morning, it might give me a pretty different readout than if I breathe into it, during the day. And being able to get like daily feedback on that stuff has really like kind of, I don't know, it's just showed me the light on like, wow, our bodies are absolutely insane. And it's pretty cool, but your metabolism is your body's engine. I mean, it's how your body turns like the food you eat into the fuel that keeps you going. And because your metabolism is at the center of everything your body does, optimal metabolic health translates to a bunch of benefits, including easier weight management, improved energy levels, better fitness results, and better sleep, which is super important to me. Lumen gives you recommendations to improve your metabolic health. With each breath, Lumen's recommendations are designed to improve your pre- and post-workout fueling for better performance and recovery so you can power through your toughest workouts and add on muscle mass. It's also just a fun little habit that doesn't hurt you, which is nice. Just knowing things about your body. It's cool. So if you want to take the next step in improving your health, go to lumen.me/POA to get 15% off your Lumen. That is LUMEN.me/POA for 15% off your purchase. And we want to thank Lumen for sponsoring this episode.
All right, and we're back. I know we went way longer on Sacha Baron Cohen than I thought we would, but I don't know why I thought otherwise. Because
you always do that. You'll text me before the show. You're like, I got this one little thing. It probably won't take that long, and I'll read the thing you have. And I was like, I got 30 on that.
Yeah. I mean? So, have you ever heard of a man called Dorde Martinovich?
Wasn't he the town rapist in Borat?
No, but it's not that far off. He's not. He ain't a rapist at all. But
is he Romanian?
He is from over there. He's not Romanian. Yeah. He's Serbian. He's a Serb farmer. All right?
Say his name again.
Dorde. I mean, I'm probably mispronouncing.
I don't care.
Dorde Martinovich.
Dorde, not Martinovich.
Dorde. Dorde.
That sounds like a tennis player.
Might just be Dorde. Dorde.
Nah, Dorde. Dorde hits harder.
Dorde Martinovich. He's a Serb farmer who lived in Kosovo in the 80s. All right. Now, in the 80s.
Kosovo hit?
You remember hearing about? No. Okay. No, nothing over there hit.
It sounds very Beach 90s. Boys, so I didn't know.
You're right. Well, that's Kokomo, which is very different.
No,
from
I know.
Kosovo.
I said it sounds.
It would be funny to make
a
parody of Kokomo
down in Kosovo,
down in Kosovo, which is about all the horrors and ethnic cleansing and everything that's gone on in the fucking Balkans over here or whatever.
Beheading a queer
down in Kosovo. Yeah, right, like that. Yes, exactly. So. That, no disrespect to those people over there. It's just been, a bit of a horror show for.
We're talking about their government, not the
most
people.
Of existence. Sure. So in the 80s, you remember hearing about Yugoslavia? You remember? You've heard of Yugoslavia before?
Yeah, that could. Yeah, I've heard of Yugoslavia. I could tell you nothing about anything in it. It's just that I know that name.
A lot of the geography and geopolitics and stuff of this, I don't know or have, and I'm pulling out of my butt mostly, or I'm giving very, very, very basic surface level version of it. But Yugoslavia, when we were like little kids, you remember like the Bosnian War and all that shit was, and in Kosovo, there was conflicts over there in the 90s. Like in the 90s, America, everything was fine, but over there, it was war, right?
Oh, all the time. That's why it was fine over here.
Yugoslavia.
I'm kidding.
Was this big country that had all these different Balkan nations shoved together, right. Into one country, because you know how we be doing that.
Right.
Actually, I don't know who did that. I don't know how that happened.
How the map works?
Yeah. But
I read a thing about that yesterday, dude. Yesterday, where they were talking, it's called the something perspective of how the map is and how they get it to where it all looks kind of the same, but how like Africa is so much bigger relatively than like what it looks like on the map. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like on the
that's not like even a little bit what I'm talking about. That is also wild. You're right. I meant that like how countries.
Oh, you talking about colonization?
Maps get drawn
cartography
borders that ought not be. Like Yugoslavia consists of all these different ethnic groups of people. It probably never should have been just one country, but it was. And in the 80s, it's full of all these different types of people who hate each other, right? There was Serbs and Croats and Muslims and Albanians and all this shit.
Croat sounds like a fucking wonderful starter at a New Orleans restaurant.
So, yeah, I could go for that. Croat scampi. Croat butter garlic Croat. Dorde Martinovich was a Serb farmer from Kosovo. Kosovo was one of the autonomous regions of Yugoslavia.
Right.
Who in May of 1985 showed up at the hospital with a bottle in his ass. Okay? Now, this...
A bottle of what?
Just a bottle. A glass bottle that had like... And I know this is brutal, but like he had a bottle in his ass, and then he tried to get it out, and the glass bottle broke in his ass.
Wait, was that him on that video?
Horrific. No, you mean the famous internet video?
Yeah.
No. That's not the same guy. I never watched. Did you watch that video? I know it's an infamous video, like 2 girls, 1 cup type shit, but I never watched it.
Yeah,
where dude gets a bottle broken up his ass. Yeah, no, I never watched that.
This might be why I'm so adamant about not wanting to trick people, because I was tricked into watching it. Yeah. Now, granted, I should have known it wouldn't hit for me the moment I saw a man attempting to shove something up his ass.
Right. Yeah. But that is fun. It's like you see a man's asshole, and you're like, well, let's see where this is going.
Well, I'm open-minded. Right, you know what I mean? In my brain, I thought it was like, how the fuck is he going to fit that up his asshole? Which, like, that's crazy. And then turns out it's like, well, he didn't all the way. You know what I mean? But yes, dude. And that horse disemboweling that motherfucker. Yeah, we saw all that shit.
So, this guy shows up at the hospital with a bottle up his ass, right? Now, this is the 80s. He's in his 50s. He's a farmer in fucking Kosovo in the 80s, right? Like, you ain't supposed to be putting stuff up your butt, right?
No,
like,
matter of fact, you're supposed to be putting your stuff up the butt of animals.
Right.
That'd be more of the move for a farmer. Like,
right, sure. That would definitely be less frowned upon.
Put that goddamn sheep in the hospital. You know what I'm saying?
That would be a much easier thing to get away with than in there.
And I'm not being racist. Our farmers fuck animals too. I'm just saying, like,
it's
you
just
be a
all
farmer.
farmers,
if you're a farmer and you're into shoving, if you're into freaky shit, like, fuck the sheep.
Right. But fucking something ain't the same as shoving something up your butt.
No, I know.
If you want something up your butt, I mean,
well, you know,
it don't have to be a bottle.
I know.
But like, if you want something up your butt, fucking some other
just
butt
don't make it a bottle.
Itch.
Yeah, no. You're 100% right, which is why I'm scared to ever try it. Right. You know what I mean? Because it's like, I know Amber ain't in, so like I'm leaving her.
My point is, like I said, you couldn't do that type of thing back then, right?
Right.
So they ask him, like, how did you get the bottle in the asshole, right?
I slipped.
And he said that would have been way better if he had said that he'd slipped. What he said happened was 2 Albanians attacked him in the field on his farm and shoved the bottle up his ass.
And then Liam Neeson came and killed all them motherfuckers.
Well, they mostly just ended up killing themselves and each other. But, but yeah, he said that 2 Albanians did it. Now, Albanians, they don't hit for Serbs to begin with.
They don't hit for a lot of people.
I was about to say, as it turns out, Albanians kind of just don't hit for a lot of people, which I never knew that until recently.
I didn't either. So I a little bit knew it. And the reason I did, you brought up the Southern Baptist Convention earlier. So my church had it's like churches had these like Big Brother programs with other countries because they could send missionaries there and extort more money from the church. And our church's was Albania. There were these 2 people who worked for this. It was called like Hope for the World or something. And they worked exclusively with Albanian refugees. They would go over there, convert them to Christianity, bring them over and show them at churches and be like, look what we did for the Lord. We converted these people. And these people came to our church all the time talking about the Albanians, and we had to put Albanians on our prayer list because Albania was so horrible. The worst goddamn place you could ever be. So I knew a little bit like my buddy Chris, motherfucker. That was actually where Chris was coming back from on 9/11 when they had to revert his fucking plane. And I told his girlfriend that he died in 9/11 and so I could kiss her.
What? Okay.
What do you mean? What didn't you get?
You told your friend's girlfriend that your friend died in 9/11 so she would kiss you?
Yeah, well, me and him
were... And you have a problem with tricking people on the street.
Me and him were beefing. We were beefing.
Right.
We were beefing.
I don't want to trick a racist into proving that they're racist. But I'll trick my friend's girlfriend into kissing me by lying about his demise.
9/11, I was
the day of our nation's biggest tragedy.
I was in middle school. Now, I will say this. That was the second time I've tricked a girl into thinking he was dead. The first time we were beefing in 6th grade and he didn't show up to school one day. And now this wasn't to get a kiss from a girl. This was just a hit. But he didn't show up to school one day, and I told everybody at school that he got hit by a bicycle and killed. And everybody was just like, he was on a bicycle and got hit by a car and killed. And everybody was like, holy fuck. And this is before the internet. They couldn't just hop on social media and prove. Everybody believed it. Then he showed up at school the next day and they were like, whoa, what the fuck? You know, but no, in 8th grade, me and him were beefing over something. Me and him, like, he's still my best friend. We call it the year of hate because we just hated each other we literally don't, neither one of us knows why. We just didn't like each other this year. And he was being a huge asshole to me. And so, yeah, on 9/11, he was over there and they had to divert his plane. And I'm privy to all this information because his dad is my godfather, but nobody else is privy to this. They just knew that Chris was on a plane that day heading back home. And I was like, yep, he was in one of them. And his girlfriend starts fucking crying. And, you know, after the football game, we fucking made out and shit. Because it took him a couple days to realize like he wasn't dead because there was no like fucking. Okay, I know how this sounds.
Yeah,
but I was in middle school, dude, and I've grown.
Lunatic.
Cartman, I was Cartman. I've grown as a fucking person. Like I think you should be allowed in this country to grow as a fucking person. Because you know what, man, most of the fucking people that are doing shitty stuff, they never grew up from middle school. I did. You know what I mean? They're still acting middle schoolish. In middle schoolish, you act foolish. You know what I'm saying? Put it on a fucking shirt. Buttercream Dream. CoreyShirts.com. Get you one. Skoo!
So this guy with a bottle up his ass, right?
Right.
Dorde Martinovic. He told him that a couple of Albanians did it, right? But
didn't describe them, just a couple Albanians.
Yeah. But the military showed up and took him in a room and interrogated him.
Right.
And he told that first military interrogator, he's like, okay, I put it up my own ass, right? Like that's what he told him, right? Like he said that he put the bottle on a stick and it put the stick in the ground and then went to sit on the stick, while whooping it, right?
As you do. Yeah, well, yeah.
As you do.
Yeah. It'd be funny if he was just reading the paper.
And he had a coffee in the paper. Squatting down on it with a bottle.
Like,
up
imagine
his ass.
finding out that David Carradine was just returning text. Yeah. You know what I mean? Choking himself.
So he was doing that and like slipped and, mishap, right? That's what.
Yeah, right.
And he told that guy. But then
where his stick?
He got transferred to a different medical academy or whatever. And these doctors there who were also Serbs, I believe.
And he's Serb, right?
Yes.
Okay, right. Yeah.
The doctors there were like, no, ain't no way he shoved this bottle this way. Because, by the way, it was like
long way, fat
wide
waist?
end. Yeah, the wide, wide end first.
How?
Yeah, right.
Wait, hold up.
Well, you think about it.
Now
If you put
I'm
a bottle on
curious.
a stick,
because the stick.
There's no other way to do it. You know what I mean? If the stick is in the ground and the bottle on the stick,
I just thought he glued it to it or tied it.
Well, the wide end is the part that goes in your butt.
No, I know that, but when you said he put a bottle on a stick, my brain didn't immediately go to like he put the stick in the bottle and that's how it was held up. I was like, I thought maybe he just like attached the bottle, like he made a base for it, like glued it or taped it or whatever. Because like, bro, how? Like the end of your turd is always less. You know what? It gets this way.
Right.
It gets this way because your butthole adjusts game time decision.
So, I mean, all I know to say about it is I don't think it was his first butthole rodeo. All right. Because I reckon the way
is his poop just walking out?
I reckon the way that type of thing works is, I mean, dude, I mean, bro, people get fisted. People get arms put up there.
Well, yeah, but I just assume they start with the finger and you get a second.
You do. That's my point. I'm saying I think he had been working on his butthole is what I mean.
Okay, you're not
so
understanding
his butthole
me.
was better prepared.
But hold on.
Because I don't know how else you can do it either. I don't understand how else it could possibly work. But you're not understanding
me. You're not understanding me. When I say you work your way up from a finger, I don't mean that eventually you can just start with the fist. I mean that like every fisting starts with the finger and then you slowly, you're telling me that you believe that there's peoples whose asshole are just fucking game ready fucking Peyton Manning and you can just right in.
I mean, I'm sure there was lube involved. Maybe it's like you angle the bottle a little bit, hit the side of it first, and then you sort of you swivel it up in there. I don't know.
By the way, to several of the mammals who listen to this show, we're very sorry, but I'm very interested.
So these other doctors were like, no, he couldn't have done that. This had to have been done to him, right?
Right.
And
so the Albanian story is starting to check out more to these people.
Back again. Yeah, right. So this gets out, and like I said, they didn't like Albanians anyway. So this story comes out. Everyone immediately runs with Albanians did this to this guy. And it becomes a nationwide cause célèbre, or however the hell you say it, like a national cause. This dude, they're sodomizing our farmers out here. That's what they're doing.
Right.
We've been telling y'all Albanians don't hit. Now look what they're doing. Yeah. They're violent people, yada, yada. And also, like, I guess these Albanians.
They had to specify. They're like, it was the fat end of the bottle. And they were like, oh, shit.
The Albanians, I believe, were Muslims. And the other thing you got to know culturally over there is that whole region, and maybe this is the way these people are to blame for the country being a country that ought not been a country in the first place. That region had been conquered by the Ottoman Empire.
Right.
The Ottoman Empire are Turks, right? So, like, also all them people over there, they hate Turks. Turks don't hit for none of them.
Right.
Because they got, conquered by Turks. They got colonized by Turks. And
it's Turks a good thing that we were born in America every now and then when you hear it. You know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely. Turks, they also were Muslim, and their primary form of torture and execution during the Ottoman Empire was impalement, right? So this was
That's a good one.
This was a sensitive thing anyway. So I'm saying a man getting a bottle shoved up his ass, right, like forcibly, it had another connotation to it. I mean, like it could hit much less to have a bottle forcibly.
I was about to say,
up your ass.
You get a bottle shoved up your ass, and someone wants to talk about nuance,
right? But it's like it had this extra it was odd. It was even more sensitive than just forcible sodomy, which already don't hit, by Albanians, which already don't hit.
It's got cultural
cultural significance. Yeah. So these like Serbian fucking poets and artists got involved, and they wrote poems.
Started drawing this guy with a bottle up his ass, and it had the flag of the Albanian army on it.
They drew a picture, their best artist at the time painted him on a cross.
With a bottle up his ass?
No. Being carried by two Albanians, and one of the Albanians is holding a bottle. You can't see that the bottle's up his ass or whatever, but that's the reference point. So it's like the other, like one of their great writers and like their fucking Gore Vidal or whatever said that his experience was Jasenovic for one man, which that's a concentration camp where Serbs were genocided during World War II. Because it wasn't just Jews; Serbs were also Nazis. Also, the Serbs they've been through it.
Was it because they thought they were Jews, or just
I think they just thought they didn't hit either. But
they didn't think most people hit. Honestly, if we hadn't won that war, they would have expanded that out to several other people. Absolutely. You know what I mean? Like Hitler did Jews because they were right there. You know what I mean?
So this fervor gets ginned up, dude. People are fired up, and it's very nationalist and ethno-nationalist, and like we can't have these Albanians in this goddamn country. Yada yada, and it's like the government of Yugoslavia had been tamping down these like nationalist sentiments for years, but this is when it kind of went out of control. Right. And a lot of people say, and a lot of people dispute it. But basically, that happened in 1985. It starts this whole domino effect of like these ethnic tensions raising to a fever pitch, and the whole fucking country split apart. Violently in 1991. So a lot of people say it's like that domino meme that Mark loves so much. Smart Mark. It's
touching
like
this thing.
Man walks into hospital with bottle in his ass, and then the big domino is fucking the breakup of Yugoslavia in 1991.
That is insane.
Also, there's genocides involved, but this part I was saying earlier, I don't know. I'm not going.
Hold on now. Let me say this before you get going, just so everybody knows: genocide don't hit.
No, genocide don't hit. It's never hit for me. But it's like the Serbs, I'm not saying any of this is false or any of this is true. I don't know. I'm not up on their whole deal over there. It's fucking complicated over there, evidently. But like the Serbs, part of the reason they hate Albanians because they said that they had been, they had been genocided by Albanians or attempted genocided by Albanians. But then after this incident, Serbs started genociding Albanians. It's just genocide all the way down, I reckon. So I don't know who is who and what is what, but I just think that it is wild as hell that this farmer, this rural fucking like hayseed farmer, wanted to jack off with a bottle up his butt, and then next thing you know, it's genocide and war and ethnic cleansing and all that shit.
Yeah.
A few years later, a lot of people say that's an oversimplification, and that these ethnic that it was never going to work. That shit would have happened anyway, no matter what. Like but.
Well, okay,
it was a powder keg. It was a powder keg. It was going to happen no matter what, and this was just a thing. So it's like to blame it all on this is not really fair, but it's funnier that way. So,
well, if that's true, then blaming the entire World War I on Franz Ferdinand is also that, because it was. But we love doing that. It's like, no, that's how it started, and it's like, okay, it was going to start anyways, and then this happened. Like, that's still the case. Like, regardless of whether it was going to happen, like the fucking tipping point was a dude shoving a bottle up his own asshole.
Yes. Okay. Also, the other thing that I have found from looking around about it today, like now in internet comments and stuff, it's still not like, it's not 100% agreed upon what happened. Like there are still people, I assume Serbs or
who thinks he got raped.
Who think it was two Albanians who sodomized him. They don't believe that he did it while masturbating. Like, that's still a belief that persists out there. And it can't ever really be proven, I reckon. But it feels to me like he shoved that bottle up his own butt. That's just
didn't you say that he literally told one of the guards, like, I shoved that up my own ass?
It says on Wikipedia, that when
I'm telling you right now, there's no fucking way I would admit that if it wasn't true.
Right.
Especially when the alternative, everyone would get behind. You know what I mean? Like if, I don't know. I don't even know. I can't even think of a good example of how that could happen, because that is so fucking insane. But yeah, that's crazy. Where'd you find that? What were you looking for when you read it?
Yep.
It would read it.
Just randomly. It's deep in some comment thread on Reddit, someone just referenced it, and I was like, wait, what? And then I Googled it, and I was like, what the fuck? It's like, dude, this is like one of the biggest incidents in that region of the world.
Well, no shit.
Ever. And
it started a war.
Over here, I never in my life heard of that until
no, me either.
This past week. But anyway, but that's it for me. So
well, cool. Well, let's take a quick break, real quick. And I will be back with This Week in Fancy.
God damn it. Our next sponsor needs no introduction. You've seen the ads. You've heard us talk about it a million times already. I bet there's a big, big old part of you, and I do mean big, that wants to try it out. What am I talking about? Blue Chew. That's right. Wiener stuff. This ain't your grandpa's blue pill. This is the one, the OG chewable tablet for better sex right now. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra, but at a fraction of the cost and in a chewable form. The process is simple. You sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. Blue Chew tablets are made right here in the US of A, prepared and shipped directly to your door, which is the best part of the whole thing. It's done entirely online, which means no more visits to the doctor's office, no more awkward wiener conversations, no more waiting in line at the pharmacy, running into your old football coach, none of that. You can take them anytime, day or night. So you can plan ahead to get down, or you could just be ready to get down whenever an opportunity comes up. Blue Chew wants you to have better sex, so discover your options at BlueChew.com. Cho, tell them more.
Well, my high school football coach just died. Thanks for reminding me of that, Trey. Anyways, a lot of people, yes, it does. A lot of people, I've been using Blue Chew for a long time. And a lot of people ask me, the first thing they ask me, like, does it work? And I'm like, does it work? It makes my dick harder than trying to calm down after someone tells you to calm down. You know what I'm saying? Don't think you need it? That's fine. You know what I'm saying? I've always said, Barry Bonds didn't need to do a lot of the stuff he was doing to get in the Hall of Fame, but it made him hit harder, didn't it? You can try it free or a month and see. And like I said, dude, you don't have to go to the pharmacy. I know my pharmacist. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to have to say, listen, everything's fine. I just like a little, confidence in the bedroom. Blue Chew gives you that confidence and helps you turn a first impression into a lasting impression. And Blue Chew wants the entire country rock hard. They told me that's the mission. They will not stop until every man is bricked up like a brick house, till every tent is pitched, till every rod is raised. Discover your options at BlueChew.com. We've got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew for free. That is not a typo. Free. When you use our promo code POA at checkout, just pay $5 shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code POA to receive your first month for free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. We thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcast. Skew! God damn, I'm getting good at that.
And we're back. Why the fuck didn't you just interrupt me to do This Week in Fancy at the top?
Because you were hit. It don't matter. Because here's the thing, Trey. It don't matter. We don't have any rules.
But in order to, I don't know.
No, it don't. We don't have any rules. And you were hitting. I will never, listen, you know me. I'll do a lot of things. I will lie to a lady and tell her that her boyfriend died in a terrorist attack. But I will never interrupt a hit. I will never interrupt a hit. We've never said that This Week in Fancy has to be first. I just happen to have gone first.
It just feels like it should be first to me.
I couldn't agree more, but it doesn't matter. You came in gung-ho with something to say. You're my best friend. I respect that. And also, I think people don't give a shit. I think people don't give a shit.
All right.
I have a couple things. I have a couple things that are not only This Week in Fancy, like around the world, but also things that I just wanted to... No, one thing I want to get off my chest, which honestly... I'll save for last because if I don't, it will end the fucking show because I know you're going to have a lot to say about it. But the first thing I wanted to show you was I think I've possibly found the most Puttin on airs item that has ever existed in the world. In one of how I'm a huge antiquer. I'm an antiquing son of a bitch. And when you go antiquing, I send y'all texts all the time of the wild shit that I find when I'm antiquing. Antiques in general, antique stores, especially in the South, are kind of this show because half of it is like, oh my God, look at this beautiful armoire that they only make, it's so fancy or whatever. And then you look over here and it's like, here's a black-faced doll you can have. You know what I mean? I found this bottle, right? You see this? Beethoven. It's a whiskey bottle with Beethoven on it. And it's clearly like, this is like, I think this is pottery. I don't even think it's glass. Like it's fucking opaque and shit. What kind of whiskey you think this is?
I don't know. Beethoven looked like a Oompa Loompa right there.
He do.
Sort of. I think it's just
that might be some aging. Yeah. But what brand of whiskey do you think this is?
I mean, I have no idea. You're saying it's a brand of whiskey that I've heard of?
Jim Beam, my friend.
What?
Beam's Choice. I know. And by the way, no, I've done no research further to see when they started doing this shit, but it's definitely an old bottle. If you want to look it up, that's fine. But yeah, I found this during my antique and I saw the Beethoven and thought it was like a vase or something. And then I saw Beam up there and I was like, wait, what the fuck? And I was like, I think I may have found the most Puttin on airs item that I've ever seen in my life.
So that's just a bottle, right?
Yeah, it's just a bottle. I mean, it had whiskey in it. Yeah,
right.
yeah. And it was aged 8 years from whenever this came out. And it's got Beethoven's information on the back and the artist's information. It's very nice.
Yeah, it says those are collector's bottles. I guess they had...
How much are they going for?
A few of those. That's from the 70s.
Nice. How much is it going for?
According to this, 1973. I mean, you can get it for $20 on Etsy.
I got it for $20. Okay, so at least we're not out anything. Yeah, I didn't get screwed.
Yeah, it'll appreciate in value, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, I don't give a shit if it does. I didn't buy. Like, there's a lot of things that I buy because I really do think I'm like, oh my God, I'm stealing this from someone. That was one of those where I was like, I just want to talk about this on the show because this is great. So like whatever investment I'm making is fucking fine. So a couple other things. Like I said, there's one thing that I might have to save till next week. Actually, I'm gonna save it till next week. It was an I will tease it because next week I'm gonna be talking about Genghis Khan, and I'm not gonna explain this, Shingus Khan. And also this thing, because I'm fucking fired up. But I will tell you this, it has to do with corporate tax structure and fucking McDonald's and apple pies. And it happened to me today, and it fucking pissed me off. But we'll talk about it next week. Another thing, I was heated. I was fucking heated. Another thing I wanted to show you, Trey, and this, unfortunately, I haven't been able to scour this for information because it arrived on my doorstep right before we were about to record, but I could not bring it up. A couple weeks ago, we had to run a classic episode, and you chose the human Venn diagram and Pythagoras. With the human Venn diagram, do you remember his name?
Timothy Dexter.
And so you implored me. All of our fans, by the way, shout out to all of y'all who understood. Y'all, everybody was so understanding. I checked the comments on that one specifically because I was like, man, we're fucking everybody over. Like, we're not doing an episode. Everybody was like, hey, I'm sad that we didn't get a new episode, but holy fuck, I'm glad you picked this episode. Like, holy shit. And some of them were like, I'd heard it, but I wanted to hear it again. Some people were like, somehow missed this in the rotation. Fucking thank you. And some people were like, I'm new to the show, and this is the only way I would have ever heard this. Fucking great. Well, you implored me to go back and listen to that episode, and so I did. And in doing so, I heard you say something that I'd forgotten, that Timothy Dexter had written a book called A Pickle for the Knowing Ones. And it showed up on my doorstep today, right? Now, again, it's I'll show you this. Here is the last page, like you said, with that is littered with punctuation marks for people to pepper as they please within the book. But I haven't been able to go through this and search for like the hits. So I'm really, really hoping that Timothy Dexter comes through and plays kind of the other man on the street. I'm just going to go to a random page because they're all separated in like, it's kind of a book of just long monologues that he has like separated by like Timothy Dexter. Like it's a quote line like Timothy Dexter. And it's like, we know you wrote the book. Right. So I'm just going to scroll to the one that is the shortest. And I'm going to, here we go. This is a well enough link. This is on page 16. The book, by the way, is only 28 pages long. It's a pamphlet. It's a fucking pamphlet.
So is it like, the words are horrifically misspelled and all that stuff in it? Someone has done a job of redoing it, which like don't hit for me because it ruins his integrity as an artist, but it will make it easier for me to read. So I'm kind of appreciative of that. But yes, for all of you that don't know, this was originally in all caps without any punctuation whatsoever. But this is from the passage on page 16 for the Impartial Herald. I don't know if that was a newspaper or whatever, but starts off, Messrs. Blunt and March, I say to whom it may concern, to the majesty of the people of Newburyport greeting, it costs $800 a year to support a watch in this town, and your gentlemen's windows are broken, fences pulled down, and cellars broken open, and much other misdemeanors done at night. Bro.
Or
the more things change, the more they stay the same, dude. This rich motherfucker bitching about crime. It's like fucking the taxes we pay and the fucking cops can't keep these vagrants.
Yes.
I'm surprised he's not like, it's the same deal. It's like the only difference is like it ain't, Mexicans doing it or black gang members because this is too far in the past for those things to exist.
For them to exist.
I don't even think the Irish were over here yet, so I don't know who he's blaming this on, like fucking Protestants or something. Just ne'er-do-wells, vagabonds. Right. Like, but either way, it's just wild. That's like literally people are bitching about that exact thing right now, on like an American scale. Like crime's out of control in Biden's America, like that whole thing.
And in the same dumb way, because I don't know if you could tell there, but like I attempted to read it as if there was no punctuation. Yeah. Because that's exactly a Facebook post. All caps, no punctuation, crime, fucking whatever. It continues. Are the watch asleep, or are they afraid to detect who are guilty of such practices? Boast not if you call this liberty and equality. Newburyport has the name of being a very civil, worthy place. It is a great pity some bad or young men should disgrace it. I hope our worthy and honorable rulers will bring these rude lads to themselves and lick the dust like serpents and ask forgiveness of their betters and do some more, but repent and live. It's Facebook.
Yeah, it is wild. Yeah, I mean that sounds like it sounds like Facebook post.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep this handy.
1700s.
I'm gonna keep this handy over here. So anytime you need me to pull just say just throw. We need to have a button that's like fucking throw to Timothy Dexter, and I'll just fucking
like the Walker Texas Ranger lever on Conan.
Yes, on Conan. Yeah. Here's one world. This is a short one, so I'm just gonna read it without having seen it. World makers, mankind, and marble, and parchment, and paper, and pen, and ink, and printer's tip, and lies upon, amen, and amen. The world was made in 6 days out of nothing. Oh, yes. Now all true. Lie, yes. All world over. It's a dude fucking screaming about Christianity. Incoherent. The world was made in 6 days. Right. Evolution's not real.
That was just a transcript of a homeless man on a street corner or whatever.
And I just randomly pointed at it. This fucking dude is unbelievable.
I thought for a minute when you said a book, you said I mentioned a book and it showed up on your doorstep. In that same episode, in the first segment, we talked about an article that was sourced from a book from 1906 called something like The History of Animal Trials and Executions or whatever.
Oh, I need to get that book.
And
I'm going to get that one next.
In the episode, we both were like, yeah, I want to read that. And, of course, we never thought of that.
Well, hold on.
We do that all the time because I think it was the same episode. What brought up Colin Firth? There was something.
The rat lawyer. He was the rat lawyer in a movie from 1993. I wrote it down, though. I wrote it down. Corey, you got to watch this. And I'm going to watch it this fucking week. That way I can have something to talk about aside from Genghis Khan and, again, corporate law structure as it pertains to apple pies at McDonald's with fucking Trey. You can call Amber tonight and be like, hey, what was Corey fired up about today? And she'll go, corporate tax structure as it pertains to apple pies and McDonald's.
You big apple pie McDonald fan?
I don't fuck with them. Again, we can't do this. We can't do this because my answer will take me to fucking an hour. Yeah.
Right. Where you at on McDonald's General? Can you answer that?
Hits. I mean, I was there for another reason, because it's an old standby. You know what I mean? It's just like, look, is it good? No. But are the Fast and the Furious movies? No. But am I going to fuck with them? Yeah.
The thing I don't like that I feel like they did during the pandemic is they've limited their menu significantly. They used to run new hits and stuff just like everybody does. Like, you know what I mean? Like one of my favorite simple pleasures in life is checking out that new hotness from Taco Bell, right? Anytime Taco Bell got some new hotness, I'm like, here we go. It's time to treat yourself, right? But McDonald's, they seem to have stopped doing that, at least where I'm at. They just have their standard menu and nothing ever changes. And my sons love McDonald's. So every Tuesday night is McDonald's night. But I'm already tired of every goddamn thing they've got. Like, I don't even want to eat there anymore because it's the same stuff over and over. And I know that's their whole appeal, but like, I don't know. Mix it up a little bit, Ronald. Jesus Christ. Bring in some new hits every now and then. Good Lord.
I'm not trying to be rude right now.
Yeah.
But if I comment on anything you've just said,
so
including
Taco
all
Bell, related to what
all of it, even Taco Bell, all of it,
really?
Yes, all of it.
You ever heard of Evansville, Indiana, Joe?
Yeah, all of it, all of it, all of it, all of it, Trey, all of it, all of it. You have no fucking idea what is inside me right now that needs to come out, aside from what I ate at McDonald's earlier.
Well, next week,
next week, trust me, and we're opening up with it. This Week in Fancy also, Trey, there are rumors, and this is what I want to talk about. There's rumors that Prince Harry might be looking to make a comeback to the royal family, right? Rumors, just fucking chirps or whatever. But that got me to thinking, and I'd actually been thinking this for a while. I wrote this down to talk about before I read that, and it is now I read that and I'm like, well, no shit, I bet. Because I was thinking about how, like, a lot of people look at Prince Harry and Meghan as like, oh, they're, like, fuck, man, they're celebrities. They've got all these endorsements. They're still fucking living the life or whatever. And I'm like, you don't, how broke Harry still must feel to live on that money. You know what I mean? To live on that money. Because as we've talked about a lot, like royalty wealth is not like regular wealth because it's almost the absence of money. It's the point at whatever and it just comes to you type of money.
That is true, but I feel like how much money does he have? I don't know.
Oh, I don't know that. I know that his mom left him an endowment of like $13 million or something, which like
total forever or like per year.
I think that's just from his mom, which probably would have been a one-time thing because she herself, it's not like she had royal money. I mean, her family
and the royal family, the crown, when he left, they ain't give him shit. He left. So when he left, when him and Meghan were over there, this is what I do know. When him and Meghan were over there, they were responsible for 95% of all of their money. It's not like they weren't already doing interviews and had shit going on, but they were responsible for 95% of their money. So when they left, all of it is based on, do you get this Netflix deal? And Harry wrote a book, but like, dude, their first Netflix show didn't even work out, which like makes me go, why am I in this business? How am I getting something made if fucking Harry can't? You know what I mean? I think the goddamn, and I mean, I know that Harry and Meghan, they're on a similar level, but the Obamas have a production company, and I think they have plenty of shows that don't get the green
I know.
light.
Ain't that
the
crazy?
Obamas, bro.
Yeah. It's fucking crazy. Like,
what am I wasting my time with?
Well, no, but you know what? It made me feel a lot better about how many things we've had that almost got made. You know what I mean? Like, we've had stuff get to script at least, and it's like, well, shit, I don't have to feel bad that it didn't go any further because Barry O couldn't get some shit to go further. You know what I mean?
So, but all I was going to say is, I don't know. I have no idea what that. You're right that royal family, it is almost the absence of wealth. It's just like, it's just what, your existence.
You don't have to think about it.
Your existence is just
taken care of.
I want this to be, and then it is, right?
Right.
Like that's your
because
existence.
even if you don't technically have the money for it, someone will give it. Some Persian motherfucker will give it to you.
I do think that there is a level, especially in the modern era. I think there's a level of wealth that, like, you, for all intents and purposes, that is also true. I just don't know what it is. Like I don't even know. I don't even know if it's $1 billion. Like I think people, a lot of people fail to realize just how much $1 billion is.
It's so much money.
I think
it's so much.
I think well before you even get to $1 billion, you have functionally limitless wealth. I think in the context of one lifetime. I don't know what that number is, but you know.
That's fair.
I can see them having it. Is all I'm saying.
Okay, sure, that's fair. But let me put it to you this way: now, when Harry wants stuff, he still has to delegate it himself. You know what I mean? Like I mean, I'm sure they have a personal finance person or whatever, but he can't just snap his fingers like he used to. Like they are on their own. They live in a house. Like they might have a servant or something like that, but not one that's been institutionalized by the fucking crown for 30 goddamn years to just be like, we'll cover it up if you want, Harry. Like the lifestyle, like that's what the point that I'm trying to make is that super rich versus royalty is still very different. You know what I mean? Like, dude, Elon Musk has, I mean, I guess access to or more money than those people, but like, he still don't live that lifestyle. You know what I mean? If he wants a servant, he has to look at his bank account and pay them. Whereas over there, there's systems in place where these people just are, and it's understood, and the fucking government subsidizes all this shit, and you just kind of walk around snapping your fingers and pointing at shit like Mick Jagger in that Mulaney sketch, Diet Coke, not funny, you know? Yeah, right. And I'm like, what in it? Like, I don't feel bad for him, but Harry's, you know, fucking, he's our age. He lived most of his life under that system, and now he's just in California getting DoorDash. You know what I mean? That's a bit something.
It is, but it's still not even as wild as was it Elizabeth's dad's brother, right? Who just left it all behind for a cigarette smoking American floozy or whatever.
Yep,
with a dude's name. Is that right? What was her name?
Fuck. He was Edward VII. Edward VII, and fucking holy shit, I did an episode on her. Are you looking it up?
That ain't right. I typed in Edward VII wife, and it's Alexandra of Denmark. That
ain't
right.
Maybe he's not Edward VII. Maybe he's Edward V.
Well, no, that was.
Well, type in
Wallace. That's it. Wallace Simpson.
Wallace Simpson. Yeah, which that sounds like a cop from a TV drama. Wallace Simpson.
Yeah. An American socialite, but yeah. Oh yeah, and she was divorced too. She was an American divorcee, which caused a constitutional crisis that led to the abdication.
That was a title back then. He's an American, a divorcee. Like that's what they would call a person. Like, what is she like now? You know, it's like there's socialites, there's entrepreneurs, there's divorcees. She was a divorcee. You know what I'm saying?
She was a socialite and a divorcee.
She was, and oftentimes that happens. Yeah, oftentimes that happens.
She died when I was 16 days old. How about that?
No shit. I wasn't even but a wink in my daddy's wiener.
Yep. Anyway, that will forever be the wildest. I mean, Harry and Meghan have a similar thing going on, but he was the king. Like Harry was.
It's way different. He was never touching that.
He wasn't never going to be the fucking king.
No,
this motherfucker was the king. Like, and I mean, it's just. I mean, that's one of the wildest goddamn things in modern history, as far as I'm concerned. Dude, despite the fact that, like, you know, no one should give a fuck about the British royal family. But
well, he was a Nazi sympathizer, also. Like that should be mentioned. But like,
well, I'm not jerking him off for it. No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying that it's a wild ass thing.
I said I respected it, which I do. Like the action, you know, not the person, but like the action of being like, I would rather be with this lady than be the king, is an admirable romantic thing to do. But like, yeah, I mean, it's way different than Harry and Meghan. But still, like, it's pretty fucking crazy. And then like, you know, that's a domino effect right there too, buddy, because like Elizabeth is never the queen if he don't do that. The longest reigning monarch ever never exists if
no princess die, right?
No princess, none of that. She's still alive.
No William, no Kate, Spencer. Like none of that shit that's like that dominated.
Song never comes out. There's a Beanie Baby that never happens. There's
wild,
so
dude.
Much shit. That's so much shit, dude.
Them historical ripple effects like that are always fascinating as hell.
And we're not jerking off the royal family, but like his brother who became king after he abdicated has, at least when you compare him to like other monarchs or whatever, he's always been shown as like being someone who was like, well, he wasn't that bad. You know what I mean? But like he also is shown as someone who he didn't want to do it. Like he was totally cool being the spare. Like that was his life and he was cool with it. And a lot of people say that like being the king drove him to an early grave. You know what I mean? So like, we also, if he never does this, we never get the King's Speech with Colin Firth and the homie from, what's his name from the pirate movies? Jeffrey Rush. Jeffrey Rush, who, by the way,
Crush.
Man,
Jeffrey Rush ain't never not hit and nothing ever.
Never not hit. And the King's Speech and him as Barbosa couldn't be different. Couldn't be more different roles. Smooshes in both of them. He is definitely one of those. I want to do a whole episode on British character actors because I've been thinking about them a lot.
It's a
because
good one.
I listen to
Tom Wilkinson. Better.
Oh my God! Boy. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. And Ed, I can't remember his name. He's in Sherlock. He plays the Ed something, Ed Gamble or Ed. I think it might be Ed Gamble.
I wouldn't know him if I saw him. I'm sure
you would. Oh no, you would. He's like he's over there. He's the guy from that thing ever. And I listen to a lot of this podcast with what's his face from Roy Kent from Ted Lasso. He has a podcast where they talk about films, and naturally he's from over there, and they have a bunch of British character actors on there. And the way they talk about like their come up is just, a lot of it is tremendously different than over here because they're doing a lot of Shakespeare theater. They're in the company or whatever.
They're like conservatories and all that shit, right?
And they had to like, if they wanted to make it, they had to move to LA. And then a lot of them, once they made it in LA, are like, I'm going to retire and still do shit in England. You know what I mean? But anyways, I know we have to get out of here. We're about to get to airmail, but before that, I wanted to say This Week in Fancy. Also, Trey, do you know who Anna Delvey Sorokin is?
Yeah, Anna Delvey. Yeah, you did.
Yeah, Anna Delvey.
Is that Sorokin? Is that just her? Anna Delvey, the lady who conned all them rich people by pretending to be a wealthy socialite. Yeah, dude, she was like all the rage in like 2021 or something like that.
See.
Shonda Rhimes made a TV show for Netflix about her, which was huge.
Inventing Anna.
Inventing Anna. Yeah, which Katie wanted to watch, so I watched it with Katie. But there was this whole slew of things around that time that were kind of similar. There was Inventing Anna, the Tinder Swindler, and
Emily in Paris. Is that the same thing?
No, the Theranos lady, Elizabeth Holmes.
Oh, dude! Hey, can I tell you this? I'm not going to say her name, but because she might not want me to. The person who sent me this and said, "Hey, you should talk about this on This Week in Fancy," used to work with the Theranos lady. Used to work with the Theranos lady.
The person who sent you this Anna Delvey thing?
Yeah, you know her, but I'm not going to say her name because I don't know if she'd want me to, but she used to work with the Theranos lady.
Well, because to me, I grouped those people together. I never watched the Tinder Swindler. That guy was a dude. But basically, because to me, all of these things, all these like properties came out around the same time, and they all had a very central theme to me, which is just like, wow, you can just like, if you just have the confidence to just lie about two shit,
Sacha Baron Cohen.
You could just get people's money. You could just. Like, you could just lie to rich people and just infiltrate that world.
It's called politics.
If you just, like, you just got to be willing to do it. Because, like, Anna Delvey, all she ever did was just be like, no, I hit. And they're like, no, she hit.
I have no doubt that I could do that to certain people.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to, and I mean, you could. I'm not saying you couldn't. You'd have to adopt a whole nother voice.
Well, no, now I couldn't because I'm too known.
And mentality. That ain't what I mean. Even if you were completely obscure, what's the word? Anonymous.
No, I could still do it like this.
No, you couldn't.
Yes, I could, Trey. This is the best part about me.
Do you know what those people think of it? You sounding and acting and looking like you could never infiltrate high society.
I could.
You are out of your mind.
No, I'm not. I'm not doing this right now. I'm not doing this right now.
We do not hit for those people. Those people don't.
That's why I would hit for those people.
You could be like the jester in the room, maybe. You could be like a mascot where they're like, no, he farts. Listen to him.
And I would find the weakest person there and extort them for all their fucking money.
Never believe you were one of them.
Not them at large. One of them. I don't need to be one of them. I don't need to be one of them.
That's what she did.
Do you think Casanova was one of them? No, he was a fucking.
Now you're saying a different thing.
Okay, I couldn't be her, but I could.
I'm talking about what Anna Delvey did. Okay, and you were like, I could do that, and I'm saying
no. I meant I could trick rich people into giving me money. That's what I said.
Okay, you could trick some rich old ladies into giving you money for sure.
Oh, ladies!
She like infiltrated them.
Yeah, that's different. I couldn't do that.
I was saying, I thought you were saying I could do that, and I was like, no, like you do. You couldn't.
No. You're right. I couldn't actually make them think I was one of them. I'm saying I could extort them for money if I did. Okay, my bad. I'm so sorry. Right. I'm so sorry. I was looking at the next thing I needed to read. Anyways, point is, Trey, she's going to be on Dancing with the Stars.
Oh, okay.
That's all the fucking news. A criminal is going to be dancing with Alfonso Ribeira on Dancing with the Stars. And
like I said, dude, at least the way Shonda Rhimes, I'm basing this entirely on Shonda Rhimes' representation of it.
Well, why wouldn't you?
I didn't read any real books or any interviews with the real person. This is entirely based on the Netflix show. But based on that, like, the people she was defrauding, they didn't hit for me. So
okay,
I don't give a fuck about
a person did a thing. A person did a thing.
Right.
A person did a thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I agree with you, but at the same time, it's like, if she defrauded the people of Kazakhstan, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, she still committed a crime.
But the flow chart is a person did a thing, and isn't it like, do we like this person or do we not? And if we do I'm not talking about her. I'm talking about her victims.
Yeah.
Like,
dude, fuck her victims.
I feel like that's always fair. It's like, right. It's like,
but that's
robbing from the rich and all that shit.
But my point is, I agree.
Defrauding old pensioners or whatever.
I couldn't agree. I couldn't agree more with you. And I guess it's just wild to me that Hollywood feels the same because she's still a criminal and that's what she's famous for. And now she's on Dancing with the Stars. So it's still glorifying being a criminal. You know what?
Corey, I don't know if you know this, but
that's Hollywood. That's Hollywood.
Donald Trump's a criminal, and he's running for president right now. Have you heard that?
But no one's letting him. He just is. You know what I mean? Like, he just is. Like, she could run for president. No one's fucking stopping her. This is fucking AB.
America's what's letting him, and America's what's stopping her from running for president.
That's right.
You know
but I'm saying this is ABC. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyways, Trey, that's all I had for this week in fancy. Well, it's not all I had, but it's all we had time for, which means, hey, guess what? I don't have to write a new one for next week, which hits for me. Do you want to do some airmail?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Subject line. CHO taught me a fancy word.
Okay.
Hey, fellas, last week's episode made me audibly shout, holy shit, in my truck at the discussion of the Joan Collins Roseanne episode. My wife and I started rewatching that glorious love letter to white trash Americana as our bedtime wind-down show. I love that that's a thing. I call it my night-night show, but you got to have, everybody knows there's a difference between a show that you're into and a show that's your night-night wind-down. It's a show that you've seen a million times. You don't have to completely pay attention. You might fire off a tweet, and it just lays in your subconscious and keeps the demons at bay. I love that.
Well, there's two types of people, because you go to sleep to your night-night show, don't you? You fall asleep to it, because I can't do that.
Sometimes I don't watch TV,
and then
because I sleep with Amber.
And then we go to bed, and when we go to bed, we ain't watching nothing. Because I wouldn't fall asleep. I'd just sit there and watch it. I don't care what it was. Like, I can't sleep with the TV on.
I can. Now, I don't anymore because I cohabitate a bed with my wife, and she's not down with that, and I'm not a huge dickhead. So basically what I do is we lay in bed for several hours, obviously, before either of us go to sleep, and we're both just our backs to each other looking at memes and fucking talk. I'm talking to you while I'm farting on my wife. Yeah.
Yes.
But I'll have my show on and I'll be watching it. But like the second I look over and she's not, cause she reads her book while I'm watching shows. And the second I realize that her screen is down, I turn it off and I shut it down. But I would have had to sleep in the living room because I couldn't do that. But now I just, take enough drugs to where I fall asleep. Anyways, that was our bedtime wind down show, and that episode played last night. One of the wilder examples of the Bader Meinhof that I've experienced, and yes, that is a term I first heard from CHO on Well Read, which, by the way, I stole it. Trey told me. I'll say this. Trey's the one that told me that. Sort of surprised that show hasn't come up more, as it was an absolute staple in the rural East Texas trailer community where I grew up. P.S. We had a great time at Trey's show in Dallas. The closing bit about smart people drinking to experience the bliss that dumb people seem to enjoy murdered me. Oh, you're still doing that? That's cute. Hope it makes the next... I'm kidding. Hope it makes the next special. Anyways, yeah. So Bader Meinhof.
That's the whole reason I brought it back. Remember, the bit used to be about. I mean, I told you about all this.
I know we workshopped it together. You don't have to give it away.
The bit years
dumb versus
and years
confidence.
Ago, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
years ago used to be that dumb people were happy. And I had to stop doing that because people
they don't
were like,
happy.
I don't know, they seem pretty insane and angry to me. And I was like, okay, fine. So because of that, I never recorded a version of that bit, and I always liked that bit. In the past years, I've been touring solo. I brought it back, but I changed it to "Stupid people are confident" instead of "Stupid people are happy," and that made it work. And the whole reason I did that was to get a recorded version of it that I could put out.
Bro,
thank you very much,
bro. I was just hitting. Did you know that I've never recorded for a special or a CD my Civil War joke? You think I'm done with that? Fuck no. That's going on.
You recorded it for TV, didn't you? Because you got buried by other Civil War material in front of that.
Yeah. You know what's really funny? This is kind of Bader Meinhof. I haven't thought about that in a long time. And this week on my hero at welovecorey.com, that came up, and I was talking about because no. It was 3 clicks and a hick. And I got on the page of the Grand Ole Opry, and they talked about the Circle Network. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, I've been on the Circle Network. I did not hit on the Circle Network. Anyways, subject line, paying the mortgage. This is not something I say every day, but Corey is right and everyone else is wrong. If you want to absolutely infuriate someone who dislikes you, do them a kindness, a big one that they can't possibly repay. They will never forgive you. And isn't that gratifying? the quote is now, why do you hate Corey so much? Quote, because he paid off my mortgage. And then her tagline, it's not a name. It says, a woman always has half an onion. Is that from Game of Thrones?
Half an onion? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know
because
either.
You never know when you might need to make some soup. Is that what it is?
I guess. All right. So
be forced into the kitchen. I'm just kidding.
Last one here. Subject line, Fancy 5. What's up, y'all? I thought it might be fun for the listeners to talk about their Fancy 5s. By the way, I too think that is fun. So I made my post in the POA Discord and Reddit. Here's mine. First off, first I'm hearing of a POA Discord. No, it's the first I'm hearing, but I heard about it once, and I forgot that we had that.
Yeah, well, first of all, I mean, I don't ever, and I told everybody at the time, you the one brought it to me.
Not first I'm hearing in a long time. I forgot that it was a thing. I read it, I know, because I'm on Reddit. I'm Discord dumb.
No, I am too, and that's why, like, when it first came up,
I forgot about it.
I said to people, I was like, I will join it if I can figure out how, but I ain't never going to be on there because I'm also Discord dumb, and I remain so.
Right.
But yeah.
Whereas Reddit, I'm not Reddit dumb, and so
I think they originate with airmail. Somebody sent an airmail and was like, "Hey, I've started a Discord. If y'all want to share it, people can join it." And we shared it on the show. And
again, what I meant to say was, first I'm hearing that it's a thing, still a thing,
yeah.
Still a thing. That's what I meant. Because yes, I remember that. And by the way, holler at me in airmail, puttingonairs@gmail.com. I will do my best now that I know it's still a thing to hop on, but I'm Discord dumb. I'm less Reddit dumb. So our Puttin on Airs, like, I know what's going on over there. So I made a post in the POA Discord and Reddit. Here's mine. What is something that you thought was fancy as a kid, only to realize when you got older that it wasn't fancy? Water beds. That's a great answer. I thought they were the epitome of fancy as a kid. Also, T-tops. I thought Camaros/Firebirds with T-tops were fancy as fuck until I owned one. What is the fanciest movie/movie star you've ever seen? I'm not sure about this one. I guess for movie, I'd say Titanic. I think that is a great answer. That's mine, probably. As far as movie stars go, I think I'd say Ben Kingsley. He's British, so inherently fancy, and he can play a badass. If you were given $100 million but had to spend it Brewster's Million style, what luxuries would you buy yourself? I would adopt and... Oh, Trey, this ain't going to hit for you. I'm so sorry. I would adopt and care for all of the stray/abused cats and dogs that I could. If that is considered charity, then I would buy a certain property in South Florida just to kick out the current resident, then level it and build a nice house in its place. Who is your favorite historical figure and why? Hunter S. Thompson, because he was smart, progressive, and took drugs like a champ. What is a Venn diagram you think where fancy people and trash people overlap? Living off of money that they didn't earn. Inheritance/trust funds for fancy people and welfare/SSI for trashy people. I'm not shitting on people who have taken money from the government. I've had to, and so did my mom. Of course, we do have a trashy family history. That was our buddy Justin. And
I have no idea how I never thought of that last one. You know what I mean?
I know. And when he said that, I was like, surely Trey's covered that.
I know, but I don't think I have. Yeah, it's wild that it's been.
It's like rich people live off of fucking government subsidies all the fucking time.
There was one that I did that was kind of in the ballpark of that, but it definitely wasn't the same thing. But I don't know. But yeah, that's a good one. That
is a good one. Well, that's airmail. Right. We've done This Week in Fancy. Trey has talked about Albanians. I mean, we fucking pretty much done it. Trey, tell everybody where they can find you.
Tonight and tomorrow, and also last night, I'm at the LOL Comedy Club in San Antonio with my buddy Caleb Sinan getting married. Yeah. He's incredibly funny. Funnier than me, probably, but it's going to be a good show either way, or at least hell, it should be. Come see us in San Antonio next week. And coming up, I'm in Michigan, then Ohio, then fucking Bristol, baby, Skew-wee, and Atlanta. Big show's coming up. Go to TreyCrowder.com. Check them out. Come see me. Go ahead.
Hey, I am going to be, let me make sure I get this right. Why is this cancel, select, what the fuck? I am going to be on, is 10 September? It is.
No, baby.
No, it's October. I'm so screwed up.
This is how we before we started recording the show to figure out what ads to do, we already went over this.
I know.
September
9/11. I forgot.
9/11. How could you forget? You're never supposed to forget.
Anyways, October 11th, I'll be doing 2 shows with the legend, George Wallace at the Uptown Comedy Corner, and that's going to be Comics for Kamala. I know we don't get political on this show, but I do have to promote it. And I would also like to add, not that anybody asked, George Wallace asked personally for me, which really hits for me. I love that. That made me feel good. That gave me a self-esteem boost. But before that, on September 13th, which is next Friday, I'll be in Center, Alabama. Don't know where, but if you're in Center, Alabama, you probably do. Come see me. Also, WeLoveCorey.com is where you can find my bonus stuff, and CoreyShirts.com is where you can get a buttercream dream shirt. Also, there's a shirt on there that's called Brains Can Be Buttheads Sometime, and I'm donating half of the proceeds of that to mental health organizations because they fucking deserve it. And that's it. Stay fancy, motherfuckers.
Ski away.
Ski away. Skew. Here's Lydia Lovelace.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Royalty and rednecks are alike. They both like cutting and picking fights. Biscuits and baked beans where they don't belong. Sit on down with Corey and Trey and learn some fancy shit today. We'll laugh a little even when they're wrong. They'll take you to a magical place where if you call someone a cunt, nobody cares. They keep it debonair at putting on airs, putting on airs, putting on airs.